It began as a silent flash, a mysterious streak cutting across the Martian sky that no one could explain. On October 4th, 2025, NASA's Perseverance rover captured what immediately confounded astronomers worldwide: a thin, elongated beam of light traversing the night at an astonishing 60 kilometers per second, faster than any object previously recorded from the surface of Mars. At first glance, it could have been mistaken for a meteor, but Mars's thin atmosphere makes such events almost impossible. The timing was precise, the trajectory flawless, and the phenomenon was unlike anything observed in decades of interplanetary observation. Within minutes, all communications monitoring the interstellar visitor, known as 3Y/Atlas, abruptly cut off. NASA ESA and multiple orbital platforms went silent at the exact same instant. This wasn't a routine data glitch. Then images began to leak faint, eerie glimmers of green light on the Martian horizon. Scientists paused, trying to reconcile what they were seeing with known celestial mechanics. No comet should behave this way, and certainly none should emit a pure emerald glow without traces of carbon or water vapor. The implications were staggering: either a natural object defying all our models, or something far more extraordinary. The first independent compilation came from amateur astronomer Stefan Burns, who released a 9-minute video using publicly available Perseverance footage. In it, the light moved with the predicted path of 3Y/Atlas, steady and unbroken, too precise to be random debris. Analysis revealed an even stranger pattern: rhythmic flashes occurring at intervals of exactly 22 seconds, consistent across multiple instruments. These pulses were far too structured to be sensor noise. Questions immediately arose. Why had all official Mars data channels gone silent exactly during the event? Normally, orbiters like the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, TRACE, Gas Orbiter, and Mars Express released telemetry within days, but this time, nothing. Complete silence. Inside the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, technicians analyzed each frame, painstakingly aware that a single misinterpretation could rewrite our understanding of interstellar phenomena. Yet internal memos hinted at something even more astonishing: tiny objects observed near 3Y/Atlas, moving in perfect synchrony as if orbiting the main body. Some scientists suggested debris. Others proposed autonomous probes. When the James Webb Space Telescope, positioned millions of kilometers away, resumed its observation, after the object passed behind Mars, it recorded a chemical composition entirely unprecedented. The green light did not arise from ordinary cometary gases like carbon dioxide alone. Webb detected high concentrations of nickel, cobalt, and cyanogen, with nickel outnumbering iron by 10:1 ratios, impossible in known natural formations. Even more intriguing, material jets ejected from the object were not moving away from the Sun, as typical comet tails do, but toward it. The geometry was precise, symmetrical, almost engineered. Despite this apparent propulsion, the object's orbit remained perfectly stable, unperturbed, defying expectations of celestial dynamics. Calculations suggested a mass exceeding 10 billion tons denser than any known comet. Scientists began to entertain a question that had previously belonged to science fiction: could 3I/Atlas be an activated self-directed entity rather than a passive interstellar rock? And if so, why? What was it observing on Mars, and what was the significance of its timed pulses? As the world watched, the debate widened: was this an extraordinary natural anomaly, or a deliberately controlled phenomenon signaling something we had yet to comprehend? The event raised profound implications for planetary science, interstellar observation, and our understanding of intelligent structures in space. The first 25 seconds alone forced astronomers to question assumptions that had stood for centuries. Was Mars simply a passive backdrop, or was this interstellar object sending a message in a language of light and rhythm? And if so, who or what was interpreting it? The questions remain open, and the world is left to wonder. Could 3I/Atlas be more than a comet, more than a visitor? Perhaps a signal or a probe? Could it be the first tangible proof of deliberate extraterrestrial engineering in our solar system, or merely an anomaly pushing the boundaries of natural physics? Every scientist, every telescope, every orbiting satellite is now forced to reconsider what we thought we knew about the cosmos as a silent green beam traced a path that will haunt planetary observers for decades to come. As the initial shock settled, teams of astronomers and engineers began dissecting every fragment of data from the Perseverance rover orbital satellites and the James Webb Space Telescope. The Interstellar Visitor 3Y/8 was no ordinary comet. Spectrometer readings revealed an unusual chemical cocktail nickel-cobalt and cyanogen elements rarely found together in such concentrations. The nickel-to-iron ratio alone 10:1 defied all natural cometary formation models. More puzzling were the material jets observed during the flyby. Unlike conventional comet tails, which expel gas and dust away from the sun due to sublimation, 3Y/8 emitted jets oriented toward the sun. The implications were unsettling. Either a natural object behaving in ways previously considered impossible or something with a mechanism resembling propulsion. The precision was remarkable. Even with these emissions, the object's trajectory remained stable, perfectly aligned with the predicted interstellar corridor. In parallel mission, control teams noticed synchronized micro-objects moving around the main body. Some hypothesized these could be fragments, while others considered the possibility of self-contained probes accompanying the main object. The debate extended to orbital dynamics experts who struggled to reconcile the object's mass, over 10 billion tons, with its stability and lack of wobble. This density was unprecedented for a comet. Then came the most enigmatic discovery: rhythmic pulses detected in the transmission noise from Mars-based instruments. Every 22 seconds, identical peaks were recorded across both NASA and ESA receivers. Analysts determined that these pulses correlated with the orbital movement of the object itself. Could 3I/8 be transmitting structured information? Was it encoding data in these pulses, or was it a mere physical reaction to solar or planetary forces? Amateur astronomers began reporting strange phenomena: two brief green aurora-like flashes visible from Earth at precise 24-second intervals, seemingly aligned with the object's signals. Researchers mapped these emissions and discovered that they traced a line between Mars, the Sun, and the interstellar trajectory, forming an almost perfect resonance triangle. Polarization measurements by James Webb revealed coherent light beams oriented against the solar wind, traveling millions of kilometers like a cosmic laser. This alignment suggested an astonishing level of precision, synchronizing 3I/8 with both planetary orbits and the solar magnetic field. Meanwhile, ground-based observations indicated that Earth itself was beginning to resonate with the object. Electromagnetic and seismic readings across continents fluctuated at the same 24-second rhythm, subtly linking atomic clocks, power grids, and satellite systems to the interstellar pulse. The planet, it seemed, had become an unwitting receiver. Scientists began questioning the very nature of the event. Was 3I/8 simply passing through? Or was it interacting with Earth's environment in a way that implied intentionality? Telemetry from orbiters remained limited, as official agencies withheld or delayed raw images and data. Yet every independent analysis, every leaked frame reinforced the notion that 3I/8 was unique, exhibiting behaviors no natural body had ever shown. Its emissions were not chaotic. They were structured, rhythmic, and seemingly purposeful. Each observation compelled teams to explore new models, bridging astrophysics, electromagnetism, and information theory. What mechanisms could explain its sudden activation, the precise orientation of jets, and the resonant effects on a planetary scale? Was this evidence of a naturally occurring phenomenon at the edge of physics, or the first detection of something artificially guided? The global scientific community remained divided, balancing caution against the possibility that this was the first undeniable sign of an interstellar intelligence communicating through light motion and synchronized energy. Every calculation challenged conventional understanding. Researchers were forced to ask fundamental questions: what defines a comet, and what defines an engineered object in space? Could 3I/8 be a probe, a message, or a physical anomaly designed to self-regulate its course? As simulations attempted to replicate the trajectory, none succeeded perfectly. The object's behavior was too exact to be random, yet too alien to be fully explained by known forces. The very fabric of interplanetary physics seemed stretched by this discovery, and every team observing it had to confront the possibility that humanity had never before witnessed a phenomenon of this scale, precision, and potential significance. The narrative intensified as 3I/Atlas continued its enigmatic passage, revealing details that defied all prior understanding of interstellar objects. Spectral analysis from James Webb confirmed 3 distinct thermal signatures: a dominant core accompanied by 2 smaller bodies, moving in precise symmetry, linked by thin filaments of ionized material resembling electrical currents. The green luminescence in visible light contrasted with pulsating infrared signals that matched the previously observed 22-second rhythm, as if the object itself were signaling across the void. The emission lines of pure nickel and cobalt, combined with unknown compounds exhibiting perfectly timed outputs, suggested a deliberate encoding of information rather than random chemical processes. Scientists were confronted with evidence that the accompanying fragments aligned along a plane intersecting Mars, the Sun, and the trajectory of 3I/Atlas, forming a straight line that spoke to intentional geometric design. When the concentrated green beam momentarily pointed toward the Sun, all observational instruments experienced interference and data collection ceased entirely, a total blackout that lasted until the object reappeared, brighter and more energetic, the following day. What researchers found next raised even more profound questions. The pulses echoed not only the transmissions we have sent into space over decades but also interfered with terrestrial systems. Electromagnetic vibrations and subtle seismic oscillations across Earth matched the 24-second rhythm, synchronizing atomic clocks, satellites, and power grids in a way that no human activity could account for. This resonance effectively turned the entire planet into a receiver, responding to the signals of a distant object. The subsequent formation of luminous triangular patterns between 3I/Atlas Mars and Earth further compounded the mystery. Charged particles traced the configuration of the famous WOW signal from 1977, aligning perfectly with the original coordinates, suggesting a deliberate mapping of interstellar history encoded in real-time emissions. Every pulse, every modulation carried structure information that could theoretically be decoded. The debate within the scientific community grew heated. Was 3I/Atlas simply an extraordinary natural phenomenon, or was it a message, a probe, or an artifact of unknown intelligence? Simultaneously, the James Webb Space Telescope detected that the object's light was polarized, forming coherent beams millions of kilometers long that rotated in sync with planetary orbits, reinforcing the notion of deliberate orchestration. Observers began to realize that the apparent self-adjustments in 3I/Atlas's trajectory were not random. The object subtly modified its path to maintain alignment with Earth's orbit, slowing or accelerating its pulses in exact resonance with planetary time cycles. This unprecedented level of coordination implied either an intelligent agent capable of controlling mass motion and electromagnetic output on a massive scale, or natural processes so precise they bordered on the impossible. Meanwhile, terrestrial observers continued to report green aurora-like flashes synchronized perfectly with the object's signals. Researchers mapped these emissions across latitudes and found they were concentrated along Earth's magnetic equator, as though 3I/Atlas was intentionally projecting energy to specific planetary regions. Global data streams revealed nothing short of planetary resonance. Even seismographs, ground power networks, and satellite telemetry all responded in harmony to these pulses. Conventional theories of space physics, celestial mechanics, and planetary magnetism could not fully account for this phenomenon. Every parameter measured from mass composition, orbital stability, pulse rhythm, and polarization challenged accepted models. Analysts began asking, could this be the first observable evidence of interstellar engineering, a phenomenon designed to interact not only with Mars but also with Earth? Or was it a natural anomaly, a cosmic coincidence so improbable that it stretched the limits of probability? Public fascination surged alongside academic scrutiny. The interstellar object was no longer just an astronomical curiosity, it had become a global puzzle. Every discovery, from spectral anomalies to coordinated orbital fragments, indicated that 3I/Atlas was more than a comet. It was a system, a network, a signal. And as researchers attempted to model its behavior, they confronted the chilling possibility that humanity had stumbled upon an intelligence operating on scales and timelines far beyond our comprehension. Questions multiplied. If 3I/8less was sending information, what was its purpose? What message, if any, could be hidden in its pulse, chemical composition, and geometric precision? Could this object hold insights into interstellar communication, advanced propulsion, or even cosmic history that humans have never imagined? As 3I/Atlas completed its flyby, the data left more questions than answers. The object's perfectly timed pulses, its unprecedented chemical composition, the synchronized micro-objects, and the planetary resonance on Earth suggested an intelligence, or at least a system far beyond known natural processes. Observatories around the world had captured signals that echoed decades of human transmissions, modulated in ways that implied deliberate encoding. Polarized beams, aurora-like flashes, and subtle adjustments to its trajectory painted a picture of something interacting with both Mars and Earth with uncanny precision. Yet despite all these observations, the ultimate nature of 3I/Atlas remained a mystery. Was it a natural anomaly, a relic of interstellar forces we cannot yet comprehend, or an engineered probe designed to communicate across vast distances? The implications for science, philosophy, and our understanding of the universe are profound. One thing is clear: humanity has witnessed an event that challenges the very limits of our knowledge, a phenomenon that resonates across planets and possibly conveys information we have yet to decode. As we continue to analyze every pulse, every emission, and every alignment, the central question remains: what is 3I/8less truly trying to show us? And are we prepared to understand its message,